when he needs to take his starter out, they're getting absolutely thrashed.
Yeah,
So if, like you said, is if they're not going to throw a game-winning gem, make sure you've lost the game by the time you're coming out of the gate, by the time you're leaving.
well,
Like, don't let the manager consider putting in one of the starters.
I could see something today, like something like this wouldn't go that badly for them. I think it's and probably what they should do. Say Scherzer gives them a strong start, say 7 innings or something.
Yeah,
Um, but they've got like a 2-run lead. It's a low-scoring game. Um, so that at that point, I reckon you have to go to Strasbourg.
yeah.
You've got to try and go for
Go
the
for the
2-0
jugular.
lead. Which I mean, a 2-0 lead is very strong. It's a very strong position to be in. Um, but yeah, I think that's the clever move to make. But even if that happens, well, they've still got Corbin, I guess. I guess this is the thing, they've got so many starters, but it's basically they're going to end up, if the series gets dragged out, by the end of the series, they're going to have no good pitchers. At some point, basically, they're going to be forced to use their you know, um, middle relievers, basically, or their setup guys or something.
And their
Out of the
best
bullpen.
chance, their best chance of doing that and winning the series is to probably do that when they're being blown out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is
Is that they almost need to be blown out. Tight losses for the Nationals, I think,
is awful. That's the
is,
worst thing
is
that can happen to them.
terrible because they may well end up using their
The starters and it
starters
screws
and
them.
stuff. Yeah,
So it's like
say
tonight.
they bring Strasbourg in. They think they really need to go 2-0 up, and then Strasbourg blows it.
Oh, that would be
Then that's
car
terrible.
crash.
They're in an absolutely
An
terrible
absolute car
position for the
crash.
rest of the series.
Yeah, almost. It's like the thing is, even if say Scherzer does 6-2, 6 innings, 2 runs, and Wainwright's done 6 shutout,
Yeah,
I think they have to even then go to their dodgier part of their bullpen.
yeah,
You
they
can't
definitely
even.
do, don't they?
Yeah, and that's the hard decision
And at
though,
that
because you
point,
basically have to go. We're gonna damage our chances of winning the game when we're only
yeah,
2 runs behind in a postseason
yeah,
game.
that's basically the point
That's
I was making
difficult.
earlier.
That's,
Is that
that's
even in
difficult
that
management.
situation, you feel like 6 innings, 2 runs from their starter. Um, you feel like unless the other starter has had a terrible start, they still are not got a great chance of winning.
Yeah,
I think.
he's got a difficult job, but then the other side of it is he's got 4 really good starting pitchers, so it's hard to feel too sorry for him.
Yeah,
And I don't know when Daniel Hudson's going to be back because you see he was on paternity leave.
yeah, which seemed odd timing.
So I don't know when he's going to be available. The headlines that I've just seen from searching are all that he's missing game one. So if that means he's back tonight or what, I don't know.
It may well mean that.
Because just 1 inning from him and he's actually
Yeah,
reliable is huge, isn't it? That's absolutely huge
yeah,
in the building of this strange thing they have to do to try and win games.
yeah.
It doesn't feel like a way that you can win a World Series, but
No.
they've got this far.
This is the thing that I think with a 7-game series, if it goes to 6 or 7 compared to a 5-game series, I think they're going to need to use like all 4 of their starters
A
as
lot.
starters. They're probably going to need to use 4 different starting pitchers if it goes to 7 games, and then in that case, they either have to use a worse starter or one of them, or they're not going to have any of them to bring out the bullpen.
I think there's also a chance. The reason I say I'm so heavily in their favour when they're only 1 game up, though, is the fact they've now got another home game with Scherzer, and I know they face Flaherty, but this lineup is really good, and they are good at grinding out at bats.
Yeah,
They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna get rolled over. I don't think they're gonna get complete. They did by Bueller earlier in the season, but I don't think they're gonna have a guy just do like 8 innings and completely untroubled.
yeah, yeah.
Um, So I think it's possible they sweep because of the way the pit that Annabelle
Yeah,
start yesterday was so big.
yeah. I think that is the thing. Is it could easily go the other way if all their starters do pitch gems, like that all of them can. But they all do it in a row, and then that is a quick sweep. Yeah,
Yeah,
with probably short games as well.
yeah, yeah. 2.5 hour jobs where they've won 3-0 sort of
Yeah,
thing.
it's going to be pretty interesting though, that series. I
Yeah, I think
think.
this is a fascinating series because I I found it really hard to predict the NL Central. I was higher on the Nationals than most, despite thinking they probably paid Corbin a bit too much. But I definitely didn't have these two in the championship series. I think everyone just kind of scribbled the Dodgers in.
Yeah, and the Braves against the Cardinals, really.
Yeah, yeah. I sort of thought that these are the underdogs really
Yeah,
in their two division series, and
I,
it's
I
really cool that's happened.
yeah, I think this is a thing though. I think we touched on it. Maybe we touched on the last podcast about like the recent trends of teams rather than the whole season.
Yeah, these two have been on fire
Yeah,
second half.
even though the Cardinals' record looks like they're nowhere near as good as the Braves, the Cardinals for the last few months have been like one of the best teams,
Yeah,
really, and
the
that's
the
what
Paul
matters.
Goldschmidt effect. The Paul Goldschmidt just
Yeah,
playing like
like
absolute toilet for the
which
first
seems to
half
be
of the
what he
season.
does now, or after last season and this season now,
Yeah,
where he's terrible, then plays the Giants,
and then it just ignites him.
and then just hits like 3 home runs off the Giants in the series or something.
Yeah, game one and game four homers against the Braves as well.
Yeah, even with the ball. Have you heard about the ball stuff?
No.
Well, you know all the stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I did hear about the ball. Yeah, they've changed it basically.
Yeah, apparently they've changed it. Although obviously Rob Manfred completely denies it, like he did before when there was evidence that they changed the ball for the regular season to make more home runs. Seems like they've now gone the other way for the postseason.
Oh right, yeah, yeah. Which is just a strange.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It, I don't really mind that much. I suppose I wouldn't mind it if they came out and said like, oh look, we're doing this to I don't know, make games closer or something in the postseason.
Yeah, but
A
they
lot of people
this
would probably be quite outraged. It does seem a bit strange using different sorts of balls for the regular season and the postseason, but I wouldn't mind too much if they like honestly came out and said it. But it seems like that is exactly what they've done. But they just
it's sneaky, isn't it? It's so sneaky because
yeah
we've said so many times that postseason baseball is different, but they actually seem to be manufacturing it so it's different
yeah
because more people are watching or what? I don't know. It's a bit dodgy is probably a bit extreme, but it is odd. And it's like they don't think anyone's going to find out.
yeah
Why do they not tell anyone? Like, obviously, someone finds out within a few games of this happening that there's enough data that they can figure it out.
yeah I know. Oh, you've seen the charts as well. It's like really like
Yeah,
obvious. It's like all year it's been like about the same level of drag on the ball, and the postseason it's got data. The Swallow Source data points for each week, and then the 2 weeks of the postseason, they're like, way up on the
yeah.
chart. Um, and we need to quickly talk about the American League series before we finish.
Well, the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, although
Well,
is it?
yeah. I mean, the rotation against the lineup is kind of what I was going for.
Oh right. I mean, the Astros lineup's pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why it doesn't really work that well.
Yeah, I don't think this. I think the Astros are going to win this quite comfortably.
I think quite a lot depends on Greinke, who's starting game one. I didn't realise until the other day that his postseason record is actually pretty ordinary.
Oh,
It's in Clayton Kershaw territory.
yeah.
Obviously
I
not so
guess
high
maybe we'll see
profile.
tonight then. So you're saying if the Astros win this first game, they're like absolutely in control.
He's got a 4.58 postseason ERA. Yeah, I mean, I think if I win game one,
Yeah.
yeah, I find it very hard to see past them. But he got, in fact, I watched that as well. I've had a bit of bad luck with some of the games I've watched. I've watched a couple of really good ones this postseason. I've followed like the extended highlights of quite a few others. But I also watched this one where Greinke got completely blown up by the Rays.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
And yeah, that was just over. That was
Is it
one of
just
those
the
where
early ones? Maybe it's that the early games have all been terrible.
yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I've just been completely screwed by that. But his performance is the. It seems silly to say a game one start is the decider in a 7 game series, but Verlander, when rested, and Cole's streak of 10 strikeout games that he's on at the moment, it's just stupid stuff. It's really,
Yeah.
really stupid.
Yeah, I don't really feel like the Yankees have a chance in those games, which seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. We
Baseball,
talked up
but
their
it's like,
pitching a bit, but I I, I don't know if you can like any of their starters are going to do the sort of thing those guys are doing because they're managing to go deep as well. I mean, racking up strikeouts and going deep into the game is tends to be quite a good combination.
yeah, yeah, it is, isn't it? And that's
That's basically what they keep doing.
what they're doing. Yeah, they obviously though. The Nationals are the other really strong rotation that we've been talking about, but the Astros actually have a bit of a bullpen, don't they?
Yeah, a bit more than the Washington's.
Yeah,
It's not even a bullpen by committee, is it? It must be something else because it's the same committee who sit on the starting pitchers table. It's a
yeah.
strange deal they've got going on there. It's
And they
just
seem
one
to get a new
table,
committee every year.
and all the
They have
relievers that they've
their yearly like reshuffle of the committee,
yeah.
and it always the same results.
Yeah, and then they just have to fire that committee, but they still have got them on the postseason roster for some reason. They've got all
Yeah,
these guys who must just not get into games. Who just sit in the bullpen, and then occasionally Max Scherzer comes and throws in front of them and goes out and goes to the mound.
yeah. And then they all
Must
run
be,
out after Max Scherzer to go and celebrate winning the division series. Do you see that?
yeah, yeah. It must be pretty demoralising for those guys, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, also they probably not that demoralising. I mean,
No.
they're 3 wins away from the World Series. I think they'll live.
Oh yeah, they are, aren't they? Jesus,
Which is an incredible thing to say. First time they've got to the second round since they moved to Washington.
that is actually that makes you realise actually there's not that long left, is there?
No, potentially. I mean, like last year's postseason rushed away, didn't it? Because there was some. Well, the Red Sox beat the Astros comfortably, didn't they? And the other one went to
Yeah,
7 games, and then the World Series was sort of a non-contest. At this point in the season, can be over very quickly. Like if say you get a good outing from Greinke today,
yeah. Like
that could
like
be
what
over.
I was saying with these rotations, those two series could, if they all turn up, could both just be sweeps.
Yeah, it
And
seems very extreme. I mean,
win the
not
World
putting any
Series
money
by
on it.
next week.
Yeah, I want quite like
Not
long
well,
odds
actually,
on that.
it's a Saturday, not next week, as in this Monday. I mean the one after. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's probably enough. Do you think that's probably enough for now?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's wrap up with that
we're running out of time anyway.
again.
Yeah. So we've actually got enough time to plug the website. If anyone wants to look at the website, you can do that. franchisesports.co.uk.
Yeah, that's
Occasionally
it.
some articles on there about
Hopefully,
various
hopefully some more in the next few
things.
weeks. It's been a bit quiet because it's been tricky over the postseason, but there'll be a lot coming up.
Yeah. And the basketball season starting if you like basketball. Um, so yeah, see you next time, or you can listen to us next time. Actually, I can't really see any of you. Goodbye.
Bye.